Hello guys, welcome once again. Today we'll talk about the boost converter. I hope you have seen my last video about the basics of SMPS. If you haven't seen it, I would strongly suggest you to watch it because I have explained all the basic things about SMPS and will help you to understand the concept present in this video easily. Well, boost converter steps up the input voltage up to desired regulated output voltage. For example, if the input is 5V and supplies up to 3 amperes of current, we can increase the voltage up to 15V and 1 ampere. But remember, in any case, the input power and output power always remains the constant. A boost converter includes an active switch, that is transistor, a passive switch, that is freewheeling diode, one energy storage inductor and one filter capacitor. The feedback circuit is used to help to regulate output voltage by using switching element which is controlled by a PWM and that depends upon the duty cycle. Now let's see the operation of boost converter. It will be easy to understand if we split the operation in two parts, that is when the power switch is on and it becomes off. And remember, we are using this topology in CCM mode. When the input switch is turned on, we put energy into an inductor. Hence, VL becomes Vin and current flows through it. And the inductor starts charging and magnetic energy is stored. And after some time, current in the inductor comes near the peak current. Now, when you switch off the active switch, the current flowing through the inductor is cut off and inductor resists a change in current through it. Hence, the rising current starts collapsing, inducing very high voltage called flyback voltage. And this energy starts to discharge via passive switch. Hence, the net output voltage becomes input voltage plus flyback voltage across the inductor. By repeating this step, boost topology works and the output voltage is regulated by pulse width modulation. For designing a boost converter, we need a PWM IC or may generate PWM using a microcontroller. Here we'll choose the PWM IC LM3842 or UC3842. Both ICs are kind of same except their manufacturers. There are many advantages of this IC like having high totem-pole output switching frequency up to 500 kHz, it needs low startup and operating current. Let's have a quick view on the pin configuration of UC3842. Pin number 7 is VCC, that is input. Pin number 6 gives PWM output. As this IC is current sense IC, which means it gives output regulation by sensing the current flowing through circuit, and this current is sensed at third pin. Second pin is used to get feedback voltage and it is given to the inverting terminal of an air amplifier, and non-inverting terminal is connected by the reference voltage which is internally generated by the IC. Output of the error amplifier is compared to the sawtooth wave and it regulates the output voltage, and sawtooth wave is generated by using RC combination which is connected to the fourth pin. Fifth pin is a ground, first pin is for compensation. To design a system, we need some sort of problem statement. In this case, the input voltage is 24V and output voltage we want as 48V and load current to be 1 ampere. That is, the output voltage is stepped up, that is output voltage is greater than the input voltage. Switching frequency should be 20 kHz and the permissible ripple is 100 mV. Next step is selection of topology. As you can see, the basic circuit of the boost converter is connected at the output side of the PWM IC. As you can see, we have connected a normal voltage divider for feedback purpose. The second step is to find out the peak current that can flow through the circuit. Next step is to find out the required duty cycle for switching. Next step, we have to find out the energy storage inductor. For that, we need to find maximum load condition, that will be net output voltage upon load current. This is the least value that we can take. If we take a high value inductance, it will take large amount of time to settle the output. Next step is to find out the number of turns of wire to be around the ferrite core. For that purpose, we need to find out the AL value. We'll get this AL value from the Cosmoferrite catalog. By using inner and outer diameter, we can find out the AL value of the core. Next step is to find out the filter capacitor. For that, we need to find out the ripple voltage percentage with respect to output, and that we may permit up to 1%. Hence, we should select the least capacitor value. Working DC voltage of the capacitor also should be considered. The ESR, that is equivalent series resistance of the capacitor, should be also considered. Delta VO is the output ripple and delta L should be 10% of the load current, and compare this value with the datasheet of the capacitor. If the ESR increases, the ripple current also increases, and it will dissipate in capacitor, which will increase the temperature and dry out the electrolytic present inside, and capacitor value will decrease. For high frequency noise reduction, we can use a decoupling capacitor at the input, and at the output side, instead of adding only one capacitor, we may add two capacitors in parallel of value 25 microfarad, which will decrease the ESR. Next step is to find out the sense resistance. We can assume the voltage drop across the sense resistance. Next step is to find out the oscillating components, that is RT and CT, which generates the sawtooth wave. And to find out the RT-CT, the formula is given in the datasheet. We can consider the CT or RT value and find out the corresponding another value. As the voltage across this sense resistance is fluctuating very high because of high frequency switching, it is a bit difficult to sense that current. Hence, for better sensation, we connect a simple RC filter which filter out the high frequency component, and sensation will be easy. So let's consider the output frequency be 200 Hz. One of the R and C we can assume and find out the another value. Now let's see the simulation of the boost converter using this IC. All the parameters I have connected according to our design, and there may be some slight changes in values for better regulation. So let's simulate it. As you can see, we are getting the 48 volts of output. If you see the waveforms, when the output voltage decreases, sense resistance senses the current and gives the pulses to the transistor according to that. So that was all about the boost topology. If you like this video, please hit the like button, comment down your queries or suggestions, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe.